Last Tuesday morning, a factory worker in South Carolina arrived at the BMW plant for his shift. His job, loading sheet metal components into the assembly line, was the same job he had done for 6 years. Standing next to him at the line was a Figure 02 robot. It had been there for 3 weeks. It was doing the same job. It will do that same job every single shift for the rest of its operational life. No salary, no breaks, no complaints. And it costs less than a brand new family car. Let me give you the full picture of what is actually happening. In 2025, humanoid robots crossed from laboratory to commercial deployment for the first time in history, roughly 13,000 units shipped globally. 5 years ago, fewer than 500 globally in total. TrendForce forecasts global humanoid robot shipments will exceed 50,000 units this year, a 700% surge in a single year. Goldman Sachs projects the market will reach $38 billion by 2035. Morgan Stanley sees a $5 trillion opportunity by 2050. The prices tell the most important part of the story. In 2021, a commercial humanoid robot cost over $150,000. Today, Unitree sells its G1 model for $16,000. That is the price of a modest used car. And a U.S. factory worker costs $50,000 to $70,000 a year in wages and benefits every year. The economics have crossed. For specific repetitive tasks, the maths now favors the machine. Now here is the supply chain reality every business leader needs to understand. In 2025, Chinese manufacturers accounted for 85 to 90% of all global humanoid robot shipments. Unitree and Agibot each shipped over 5,000 units. Tesla, Figure AI, and Agility Robotics each shipped approximately 150. China controls 70% of the component supply chain. More than 140 companies operate in China's humanoid robot sector. 6 of the world's top 10 humanoid startups by patent strength are Chinese companies. China applied the same industrial playbook that produced its dominance in electric vehicles, state support, rapid supply chain integration, and aggressive pricing to humanoid robotics. And the results are similar. Now let me be precise about what these robots are actually doing right now, because the honest picture matters. Figure 02 is operating at BMW Spartanburg, loading components and transporting materials. Agility's Digit is moving totes in GXO's warehouse in Georgia. Tesla's Optimus sorted battery cells for an entire shift with no human intervention. Mercedes-Benz is testing Aptronic's Apollo on its assembly lines. Amazon introduced a warehouse robot workers can direct with conversational language in June 2026. What is not yet real? As of mid-2026, there are 0 documented layoffs anywhere on Earth directly attributed to humanoid robots. The robots entering workplaces today are filling jobs that cannot be filled. There is a projected global shortage of 8 million manufacturing workers by 2030. At GXO, the workers placed next to robots were promoted to oversee them, which brings us to what happened today. On July 29, 2026, the Federal Communications Commission announced a ban on the import of foreign-made humanoid and quadruped robots, citing unacceptable risks to national security. It mirrors the drone ban that removed DJI from the US market last December. The reasoning is clear. A humanoid robot operating in your facility generates continuous data about its operations, layout, and workflows. When that data leaves your jurisdiction, the national security concern is structural. Leading analysts say the impact on Chinese manufacturers will be minimal. Their primary growth markets are Europe, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East. The ban applies to new imports only and creates an opportunity for American manufacturers to accelerate. But here is what every headline today is missing. Every headline is asking whether the ban will hurt China. That is not the question. The question every business leader, city planner, and government advisor should be asking is, when a humanoid robot operates inside your facility, who governs it? Whose software runs on it? Whose servers receive its data? Whose engineers can update its behavior remotely? And whose legal framework applies when it makes a decision that causes harm? These are not technology questions, they are sovereignty questions, and they apply regardless of where the robot was made. So what does this mean for you right now? If you are a business leader, the humanoid robot transition is a 2026 decision, not 2030. The question is not whether to engage, it is which governance framework you require your vendors to comply with. If you are a worker in manufacturing or logistics, the honest picture is that robots are filling jobs nobody wants, not taking jobs people have. The workers placed next to robots are being promoted to oversee them. The skills that protect your position are judgment, adaptability, and the ability to supervise autonomous systems. If you are a policymaker, the FCC ban is a governance instrument. The question your institution needs to answer is not which robots to ban. It is what governance standards your jurisdiction requires of any autonomous physical system operating in critical environments. The nations that write that standard now will set it for everyone else. After 20 years advising governments on technology transitions, the pattern is always the same. Every technology that enters our physical world at scale creates a governance mandate. The printing press, the automobile, the internet, the smartphone, each one required societies to answer who is responsible for what this machine does. The humanoid robot is that question at human scale, in human environments, making decisions that affect human lives. Governance is not the obstacle to the humanoid robot economy. Governance is the answer. If you are a business leader, a government advisor, or an institution navigating where your organization sits in the humanoid robot transitions, go to usmanzafar.com. Book a strategic advisory session directly with me. I have worked with governments and enterprise institutions across 4 continents on exactly these questions. And subscribe to this channel right now. Every week I publish strategic intelligence on smart cities, digital twins, autonomous infrastructure, and agentic AI. Not product reviews, not hype cycles. The governance frameworks and sovereign decisions that determine which organizations lead the autonomous era. Subscribe to @Drusman's Official and share this with a colleague making decisions about automation right now, because the organizations that understand the governance mandate today will write the rules that everyone else lives by tomorrow.